Hello everyone and welcome to another Rise of Kingdoms video. This is Dragothian here, and we're going to go ahead and continue this series, guys. Looks like you guys are really interested in it, and I have an update from the last one. Of course, Khan and Charlemagne were both left off of the open field version. I've put updated documents, the photos of this ranker on my Discord, as well as in the community chat on the channel. Khan is in the best category and Charlemagne is in the good category. So without further ado, we're going to extend this series and extend it to the rally edition of the legendary commander ranker. Again, I'm going to be doing all of these by role, and I'm also going to do the epic version of all of the legendary ones that I'm going to be doing over the next week or so. So just kind of keep that in mind as we roll along. And again, I like the feedback that we've been getting in the comments, so continue doing that. If you've not done so, please hit the subscribe button. It helps out a ton for the channel. And then certainly hit the like button and the bell notification so you get these videos every day as I'm posting them. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in, and we're going to get all the commanders this time, I do promise. And with that being said, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start with infantry, go to mixed troop, and all that good stuff. So firstly, we're going to start with infantry again. Alex is going to be our first set. And again, I think this is a pretty easy one to choose here. He's going to be in the best category. He is made for open field and rally. He's a fantastic rallier as primary, as second YSG, vice versa. You can do it either way. You can put Richard second to Alex and be very, very good. You can even do Charles if you want to. Guan primary, Alex secondary. These are all really good combos. He's definitely in the best category. You want to max him for rallying purposes. He is a stud when it comes to that. Leonidas. Again, I got to put him in the good category. He's just not built to be a rallier. He can be rallier, but again, he's not made that way. All of his skills are really lent towards being a defensive commander. He does have some damage output, but again, as a rallier, I just don't see it. He can do rallies, but not in the better or best category, in my opinion. Charles. Charles is going to go in the better category. He is good for rallies. He's very good for rallies, but I think when you're looking at the infantry commanders, I think Alex is a step above when it comes to Charles being in the best category. I think for rallying purposes, Alex is better than Charles. Charles is good, but really only works, again, paired with Alex or Richard. Not a whole lot of extras coming in. He's more of a defensive commander as well, with his shield capability and things like that. Guan Yu. Best category by far. So he is one of the premier rallying commanders. He's a conquering infantry commander. He has so many good things going for him. He is a little tanky being infantry, although not massively tanky. He has a ton of damage output, and his skill damage output is absolutely insane. In a full rally, you definitely want to use Guan in rallying. He's a best commander, hands down. That's not even a question. And Richard. Let's see. Yeah, I got to put Richard in the best category again as well. He can be used on pretty much any kind of rally. Bringing back troops slightly wounded in rallies isn't as bad as bringing back troops in a garrison. We'll get to the next one, and you'll see where I'll put Richard. And I don't know if you've watched this channel, you'll know exactly where I'm going to put him. But if you haven't, that'll be a surprise to you. But he's in the best category for rallies. Again, good as a second or primary to Alex. He can be a second to Guan. He can be a second or primary with Charles. Very versatile. So again, I got to put him in the best category because he is one that you want to max for rally purposes. And then finally, Constantine. You know what? I hate to do it, but he's in the fail category. He's not made to be a rallier, guys. He's not even close to being made to be a rallier. He is a garrison commander through and through. He has really no offensive capability. All of his skills are healing and health based. Garrison skill for the third skill does nothing for conquering, and his primary skill is an attack debuff, which is good, but not necessarily made to be a rallying commander. So I'm going to put Constantine in the fail category. My goodness. All right. Let's continue on. This is going to finish up the infantry commanders. Let's go to the mixed troop commanders. We're going to start with Charlemagne. I'm going to put him in the good category simply because he is a conquering commander. He does have some things that work out really well for rallies, and almost all of his skills are geared towards enhancing rally damage and reducing the dead that you take from rallies. So I'm going to put him in the good category. However, again, him being a mixed troop commander, and in addition, a lot of his skills are kind of subpar. I'm going to put him in the good category. Not a fail, but certainly not in the better or best categories, in my opinion. Freddy. I'm going to put him in the better category. He is a mixed troop conquering commander with leadership. He has a heal, and one of his skills is based on hitting cities, a damage enhancer to hitting cities. And he has one of the best nukes in the game. So single target on a rally, that's actually really good. He actually could be in the best category in my opinion, but he's got to be second, guys. If you put him primary, you're going to take more dead than you should. It's always best to use single troop type with the right troop commander as primary because of all the extra stats and bonuses you get from the talent tree. But mixed troop isn't terrible, and again, early game, if you're in a later kingdom or if you just started the game and you don't necessarily have all of those kinds of troops, and your alliance is kind of the same way or your kingdom's the same way, Freddy primary is not terrible. There are definitely builds out there that I've done that will allow Freddy to be okay, but he's just not as good as he is as a secondary. He's a better secondary than he is a primary, but he can be used for both. He is good. I'm wavering a little bit to put him up to best. Just kind of keep in mind, Freddy could be better or best depending on what your play style is. Julius Caesar. Again, going to go in the better category. Same principle. He's a leadership conquering commander. A lot of his skills lend towards rallying. The only downside to any mixed troop or conquering style commander is that they've got a fourth skill, almost all of them, for troop capacity, which helps you 0 when it comes to rallying a city. Your troop capacity doesn't do anything for you. So again, Julius Caesar is decent as a primary or secondary. I like Freddy better than Julius Caesar. So yeah, but he's got good defensive capabilities. He's got a very terrible nuke, but when he's expertise, he has a very small nuke. But his defense stacking capability when rallying is solid. So I will put him in the better category. He's not in the good category by any means, because he is good for rallying, but he's not the best either. Wu. Going to go to the fail category again. This is 2 in a row where she's gone to the fail category. Again, Wu has a very particular purpose, and conquering cities is not one of them. I haven't tried Wu in a rally, but I've seen Wu in a rally, and it did not go very well. So I'm going to go with that. She's just not made to rally. Ethelfled. You know what? I'm going to put her in the good category because for free-to-play or for later kingdoms, she's not bad. She's not great either. But the main reason I'm putting her in the good category is because she's good counter-rally. So, I prefer her to be just an open field march debuffing a rally or debuffing a garrison, for instance, in the rally edition of this legendary commander ranker. But she can be used as a rally, a counter rally, or a secondary rally to a main rally. In my opinion, she's a great debuffer. That's what she's here for. And that's why she's in the good category. I think that's a good spot for her. She's not a fail. She's definitely not better or best, though. Mehmed. In the best category. This guy is made to rally cities. This guy is made to rally cities. So again, if you've seen my severely wounded guide, severely versus slightly wounded guide, you'll know that skill damage doesn't necessarily provide the most severely wounded. But when you're starting to try and get rid of troops in a city, for instance, that can have upwards of, I've seen, 40, 50 million troops. Usually on average, it's anywhere between 2 and 7 million when you're rallying a city, depending on how big the player is. You want to cut down as many troops as you can, which is where skill damage kind of comes into play. You're not necessarily killing them until you fill the hospital. But once you fill the hospital, everything you're doing is killing stuff. So, when Mehmed's being used to rally a city, it's devastating because of all the skill damage. I mean, he does so much skill damage. And really, Guan primary with Mehmed secondary is one of the best city rallying combinations in the game as of right now. Same thing with YSG, which we'll get to. Mehmed and Genghis, who was left off of yesterday's list inadvertently. So we're going to get to him for sure because I've got him on the list now. It was a bad copy and paste error that made me forget that. So, but Mehmed definitely in the best category. This is what he's made for. All of his skills are geared towards rallying cities specifically. So you definitely want to have that in your repertoire. Barca. Again, no. I got to put him as good. Because again, I mean, he does have rallying. All of his skills are geared. A lot of his skills are geared towards rallying, but he doesn't have much damage, and his defensive capabilities are minor at best, in my opinion, compared to Julius. I think Julius is a better overall, well-rounded rallier, whereas Barca is meant to debuff, again, just like Ethelfled. I got to put them in the same category. They're basically the same thing when it comes to just damage and debuff. And yeah, he's got more capabilities open field, but even then, they're very minor. So that's why he was good in the last open field ranker, and he's going to be good in the Rally Edition as well, in my opinion. Ramses. We're heading to the archers now, guys. So Ramses, I'm going to put him in the better category. I don't necessarily think he's the best to have, especially when it comes to archers, but he does have a lot of things going for him that are really, really good. The additional skill damage that he does, he's basically, so you have to think of Ramses like this. He's basically a combination of Saladin and Takeda in one commander with almost as good stuff from each one of those into one commander. So he's really good. The problem is he's squishy. So again, I mean, a lot of these commanders that I've already got up here, they're either second to tankier stuff or they are tankier stuff. Ramses is the opposite. He does have some defense stuff going for him, but archers, by definition, are squishy. So you can do a lot with Ramses, especially if you're going up against a healing commander-style garrison, which is always good for you, unless it's Ark of Osiris, and then it's bad. But every other situation is really good. Ramses is a good situation there. So better, and I think he also could be kind of in the better-best category. We just don't have enough experience with him yet to really say for sure he's best. I lean towards putting him towards best, but right now, based off what we know about him and what I've seen in the Osiris League playoffs with him, he's good. He's better than good, but he's not as good as best. Artemisia. Again, from what I've seen from her, she can do rallies. She does things, but she's got to be second. And again, it's kind of a toss-up with how her skills work. You don't know exactly what you're getting. One rally might be absolutely amazing, and then the next rally you might kill yourself. So I want to put her in the good category. Again, this is not what Artemisia is made for. From what I can tell, she's more of a defensive garrison commander. She's got a lot of skills that lead towards skill damage output, but her talents and her skills are geared towards being a great defender. So we're going to stick her in the good category. YSG. Best category. Again, you'll see a lot of YSG in the best category for all of these different roles, and that's why I recommend YSG being your first commander that you max out from a legendary perspective, because he works in everything. He works in everything. He's so versatile. That's a good investment. It's good value putting your legendary sculptures into YSG to max him out. So he will be in the best category. He helps because not only does he have the ability to hit the rally or the structure that you're hitting, whether it's a city or just a generic structure, but also if you get swarmed, his AoE will hit all of those armies trying to swarm you. Counter rally, same thing. So just good overall. His damage output is amazing. His rage generation is amazing. All those things lead very well to going big on rallies. Edward. Ooh. I want to put Edward in the best category, and I was hesitant, as you could tell. He could be in the better category too, but again, Edward. This is what Edward was made for, so that's why I'm kind of putting him in the best category. if you're going to rally with archers, your best archer rally as of right now, and again, you can kind of start filtering Ramses in here and trying to figure out if that's what works. But right now, Edward Tamiris is your best archer rally, or Edward YSG, or YSG Freddy. So most of those rallies are going to involve Edward because of his skill damage on his first skill. And again, in combination with Tamiris, they are made to rally with each other. That's exactly what they're made to do. So I'm going to put Edward in the best category. I think that kind of explains it. Again, he can be back and forth, best or better. I think that either one would suit him. But being one of, if not the best archer rally commanders in the game, and that's exactly what he's made for, that's what makes me kind of put him in the best category. Tamiris. Yeah, I gotta put her in the best category too. She's an amazing rallier. And again, you want her second to an Edward or second to a YSG, although YSG isn't as effective primary to Tamiris as Edward is. Edward, you don't want to max Tamiris unless you have Edward maxed. It doesn't work. Like, the reason Tamiris works so well is because of the delay that is caused by Edward having a longer rage cycle. So that builds more poison stacks, that increases the skill damage that's going to hit that target. So the combination of these two right here are really what kind of sets them apart and makes them in the best category for rallying. El Cid. I mean, he can be. I mean, he's not bad. He's not bad. You can max him and use him. El Cid and Ramses actually would be pretty good. I think a good rallying combo, or Ramses El Cid would work. So better is kind of where I think he belongs. The disable that he does is very, very good against garrisons, especially against Wu garrisons. And Artemisia, I think, would be affected heavily by this too, unless she's expertise. I don't know. I think he is in the better category. I think that's a good spot for him. You know, I'm not a huge fan of El Cid, but he does have a lot going for him from a damage standpoint and a rallying, crowd control rallying standpoint. It's not bad, especially as part of a multi-rally situation. El Cid's not bad at all, because he can fill a good role on disabling that structure target and providing some extra damage, obviously, as well. He's made for open field with the movement speed bonuses and things like that, but he does have bonuses to damage whenever he hits a certain health level as well, so that's helpful in a rally situation. I think better is exactly where he should be. All right, the guy that I missed. We're done with the archers. The guy that I missed yesterday, Khan, definitely belongs in the best category. He's one of the best ralliers in the game. His rage generation is absolutely insane, and he has a rage reduction skill, and he has a lower rage requirement on his main skill. Just all those things mean more skills are firing off nonstop, and again, why he is such a good pair with Mehmed against a city rally, or with YSG against a normal structure, or with Saladin, or with any of those other commanders. Very, very good. I think the only one that he would not go really well with, obviously besides the archer commanders here, would be Guan. He would not go very well with Guan because both of these commanders need to be primary for different reasons, but also Khan has to have full cav and Guan has to have full infantry, and again needs to be primary. So you're going to want to have infantry as a primary commander. But Khan, definitely one of the best commanders to rally with in the game. Minna, I'm going to go with better because, again, he does put a lot of damage out. He has a lot more damage than a lot of people think, being a VIP commander early on in the game. And he is a peacekeeper. So, I mean, again, he's built towards rallying forts, and I guess that's part of the rally edition. But really, this is PvP, guys. Let's be frank. This is a PvP rally edition video. But he's still good. He's still good against cities and structures, Ark of Osiris, all that good stuff. He's just not as good as, Khan and some of the other ones that I've already said, and then some of the other ones that I'm about to bring out. So Minna is in the better category, in my opinion. Again, you want to max him out, though. Double C, same thing. in the better category. Do not make him primary unless you're trying to get somewhere fast, like an Ark of Osiris, to try and ninja an obelisk or something. But other than that, he should not be primary from a trying to take the objective standpoint or to kill troop standpoint. He should always be a secondary. Be a little wary of using Double C as a rally commander because he has a defense debuff on his expertise. But if you're attacking the right thing, that shouldn't matter. So he's a better commander. He puts a ton of damage out. Very, very good. Saladin, best. Now again, keep this in mind. His 4th skill disables plundering. So his 4th skill, while you get more damage to conquering a city, you don't get to take the loot. So keep that in mind. While he is a best commander for rallying, you don't get the sweet loots afterwards. You can't plunder the city and get the resources. But he will help take down a city very, very quick. Saladin Takeda, Saladin Genghis, Genghis Saladin. All these work really, really well. Saladin can go as a second to most commanders and be just fine as well because he doesn't require Cav, although a lot of his bonuses are to Cav. So just keep that in mind, but he's definitely a best commander for rallying, hands down. 5551 will get you there. Obviously, expertise is better, but 5551 for rallying is not as good as expertise, but for open field, it's definitely just fine. All right, so people have been asking post-nerf how this is. If I could put him, I might just put him. Can I put him like over the best? Like he is the best. Like there's no, hands down, Attila and Takeda are the best. I'm just going to go ahead and pull Takeda up there too because it's an obvious thing. These guys right here are the best ralliers in the game. Cities, structures, doesn't matter. They still, even though they were nerfed. And when I say they, really it was Attila that was nerfed. Takeda was not nerfed. So a combination of either, again, Saladin with Takeda or Attila with Takeda are the best rallies in the game, hands down, bar none. And it's not even close. Even after the nerf, people have really not stopped rallying with Attila. And again, it's all about reinforcements when you're doing rallies and garrisons and stuff. So if you don't have the reinforcements for your rally and your target that you're rallying does have reinforcements, it's going to lose either way. You're going to lose either way, no matter what commander you pick here. But with these two, it gives you the best chance to do those things because a lot of things have to happen right for you to take a bad trade or to take a good trade against Attila Takeda. Whereas everything else, you can kind of sloppily take care of it and it works out just fine as long as you've got roughly the right commanders in the structure. You're in good shape. Attila Takeda, you've got to debuff him. You've got to properly reinforce. You got to do all those things. Even after the nerf, you've got to do that stuff. And you definitely have to have Charles Constantine, Constantine Charles, or Artemisia and somebody else. So Artemisia Wu seems to be doing pretty well. Artemisia Charles also seems to be doing well. Artemisia Constantine also seems to be doing pretty well. So those are definitely worthwhile. Don't sleep on these guys just because Attila got a little bit of a nerf. It wasn't enough to knock him out of first place. Not even close. All right, so that is the end of the Cav commanders, and those, saving the best for last is, I guess, what ended up happening here. Wasn't my intention, but still happened. Cleo, huge fail, obvious reasons. Again, decent open field for the buff and the heal, but everything else is a gathering thing, and you're just losing way too much. Sundiak, same thing. Unless you're rallying with Siege, Sundiak is just not going to be worthwhile. Ashita, same thing, fail. Just not doing anything really except for the rage gimmick thing that he's got going on, but no. Just hard no. So hard no. So for Rally Edition, a lot of commanders are in the best category, guys. As you can see, and I'll put these guys separate to themselves because these guys are just the best. Like, that's just the way it is. Attila Takeda definitely still the best right now. Let me kind of spread some of these out a little bit as well for you so you can see them a little better. Let's see if I can do this where my OCD won't be triggered. Yeah, it's pretty good. Did pretty darn well. Look at that. look at that. I think I'll have to do a little bit farther. Yeah, a little bit here. There we go. And then these guys just need to spread out a little bit. All right. So that's your Rally Edition Legendary Commander ranking guide. Again, I think these are all really spot on. We don't know enough about Artemisia and Leo from a rally perspective, or at least I don't just yet, but I feel like I've got them in a really good spot. Artemisia and Leo are both garrison commanders. Like, that is what they're for. Or when I say garrison, defensive commanders. They're built around garrisoning structures, being defensive on the open field, that kind of thing. They're not made for rallying. So I think they're in a good category because they can be used, but they're not where they're supposed to be. Like, they're not in the upper tier like all these commanders here. I think this is pretty spot on, guys. I really do. I really think this is really spot on. I think that overall this is the way to go. And again, Attila Takeda is the way to go still, guys. And that there's a reason why Attila Takeda rallies are still being fired off non-stop against opponents in Ark of Osiris, when you've got all the time in the world to go ahead and that's not what I want to do. To reinforce structures and things like that, and even against a Constantine Charles, that's still the rally being sent more often than not. Do see some Ramses Freddy rallies going out there, Ramses Artemisia, Ramses YSG. Still seeing, of course, your standard Edward Tamiris, Edward YSG rallies as well. Sauron Takeda is still out there as well. I'm really shocked that I don't see more Guan rallies out there, like a Guan Richard or a Guan Alex or a Guan Leo would work. But again, I think that's the worst of all those pairings. I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised I don't see more Guan rallies. Guan Freddy would work really well as well. So, okay. I think you guys get the gist of this one, and I think I'm really spot on, guys. If you have any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section below. Again, hit that sub button if you have not done so. It helps out a ton. Looking to really expand the channel and get our community out there. So I want to make sure that I have everything I need to do that. So that's the best way to do that. With that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Cheers. Take care.